30 seconds.
Roger.
20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Roll's completed.
Roger, roll complete.
There goes the pitch.
Roger, pitch. You're on your way, Molly Brown.
Yeah, man.
We're a little bit high on the flight path, but no problem, Molly Brown.
Okay, Molly Brown's go for staging.
Roger, looks good from here.
Roger. Program date received.
Roger, update.
Okay, there was staging.
Roger, stage.
And we're thrusting.
Okay, thrust looks good from here.
Show full scale route to there. Okay, we're starting to steer. The horizon's been right in view.
Roger.
Our GS is go.
Looks good from here.
Oh man, look at that.
Steering is good from here.
Stand by to copy 2-1.
Roger.
Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger, copy Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger.
Now can I ring Capcom? Go ahead. Roger, your Texas burn will be 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. Okay, 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. So far we got your TR and Gemini load in. Your clocks look good on the ground. Everything's go here. See you next trip.
Molly Brown, Cape Capcom.
Go, Cape Capcom.
Look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
Say again?
Does it look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
I can't read the girl.
Roger, how do it look?
It looks great.
Raj.
Carnarvon, Capcom, K-Flight.
This is Carnarvon, go ahead.
Ask him if any of the things we asked him to try did anything with the control system. I'm not concerned about it, just want to know how it acted. As far as we're concerned, he's go for the second orbit.
You still got a blood pressure, John? We didn't read it.
Hey, sir, okay, I'll give you another one.
Okay. Just wonder if he was breathing. Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Say it again.
Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Okay, Cape Flight. Roger, you are on time for...
What's going on, everybody? Good to see ya. It is Monday evening, 7:53 p.m. here on December 9th in old Jacksonville, Florida, and I will be hanging out with you guys for probably about an hour. So yeah, Wednesday is the day that we close on our new house. Been a busy ass few days. Call in to get all of our, electric, our gas, everything turned on in our names, making sure everything's good to go. All the paperwork is signed, but it looks like we're smooth sailing as of right now. We will be moving into our new house on Wednesday. New office, new place. I can't wait. But welcome to the stream, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Just Jedi, Mr. JJ. Thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Hey there, your music just keeps getting better. That is one of my favorite songs that and it's, if you've never noticed, maybe you haven't been here for a lot of like early Lightspeed lounges. That is the song that I start every single Lightspeed lounge to. I love that song. It's up at the tip top of the now playing list. But dude, that is my favorite. I'm glad you noticed that. A lot of love and care goes into this Lightspeed lounge. The background is one of my favorite things I've ever made. In the intro, I'm very selective with what I play on my intro. I love that was a Gus Grissom, Liberty Bell, second American in space. Second, right? Shepard, Gus, Glenn, Gus Grissom. Yeah. Yeah, okay, second. I was getting them confused. So, yeah. I love playing either Apollo or some Mercury, audio. Leading into that fun song is my go-to beginning of every single Lightspeed lounge, man. And I love it. And thanks for noticing. A lot of care goes into that. But I appreciate the hell out of that support this evening, man. So welcome, guys. Robin, Jedi Nerd, Joshua Boyles, King Beam, Alonzo, Stewart, Central Cobra, Cal Walker, The Supremacy Mecha Hunter. Is your book going to be on Audible? Yep, eventually, Josh. As I sit here sipping on my coffee. Yep, I have it all recorded. But I need to change a few things. There's some lines that I changed in the paperback that I have not changed since I recorded my audio, So there's a decent amount, a few paragraphs, I have to add or change. So, and this is just going to be a busy week with us moving, and we won't have internet in the new house until Friday. So I'm not too sure when I'll get it up, but we shall see. It's definitely coming though. Yep, the book ships worldwide, Tan. Wherever you can receive Amazon stuff, it will ship. Jordan Smith, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, Mr. Jordan Smith. I greatly appreciate that this evening. First time stream. Love your work. Keep it up. And hang 10. Right back at you, man. I really appreciate the kind words. It's kind of... I don't know how long you've been tuning in. Oh, one sec.
Chapter. Thanks for that. I needed the kick in the aft.
You're welcome, Andy. One sec, man. One sec. But Jordan, I don't know how long you've been tuning in for. Maybe you've been tuning in for years and this is your first stream. It's kind of funny, man. Like, a lot of people who just watch my videos don't actually know that I stream a lot because I don't really announce it. I don't have a schedule. If you happen to be looking at YouTube, you might see that I'm streaming. Notifications don't go out. And, I'll post it on Twitter sometimes. But I found that a lot of people sometimes pop on here and they're like, first stream, or sometimes people don't even know that I stream. So it's kind of fun when somebody has been tuning in for years and they stumble upon a stream. And it's just another side of this channel. It's a more, non-scripted, all over the place, random ass conversations side of the channel that I've fallen in love with over the past few years. And so it's a blast. Anyway, Jordan, I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate the support this evening. And Mr. Andy Star Wars Ramblings, let me take a quick sip of the old coffee. There we go. Andy says, Mr. Star Wars Rambling says, finished the first chapter. Oh, what? Of that? Of Sorry About the Mess? I appreciate that, man. Thanks for that. I needed the kick in the aft. You're welcome. I'm assuming you're talking about how I kind of finished the chapter. I kind of, made that chapter a little, circular. Kind of starts... It kind of ends where it started, right? Talking about doing stuff. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the first chapter, man. That's kind of a very, very condensed version of my upbringing and what made me start the channel, right? But, yeah, I really, we've talked about this before, Andy. It's been kind of a long process of getting it out, just because, it's nerve-wracking. There's a lot of personal stuff in there. Not like excruciatingly personal, but a part of me is like, why would anybody want to know all this stuff? But as I'm typing it, I'm like, this is something that I did. Why does anybody care? And I sit back and I'm like, because people can relate to this. People can relate to feeling this way, or can relate to not having any confidence and wanting to put your ideas out there and not knowing how to execute. People can relate, People can relate. It's a messy stream of consciousness. I'm really digging it. There is a reason that I named it Sorry About the Mess. So, yeah, man. Anyway, I appreciate it, man. And I hope you dig it. But yeah, thanks again, Andy. And Levi Gutierrez, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Thoughts on Golden Globe nominations? I don't follow things. Golden Globe nominations. And chances are I probably haven't really seen many things that are nominated, right? Let's see. Have not seen Marriage Story. Have not seen Irishman. Have not seen... I did see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I did see Chernobyl. I love The Crown. I've never heard of Unbelievable, I don't think. So, yeah, Levi, is there a controversy going on right now? Is that why you're asking? I'm very curious. Okay, so Best Motion Picture Comedy. Dolomite Isn't My Name, Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Rocketman. I've only seen one of those. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I want to see all of them. That is a category that I've been meaning to see all those movies. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture. Drama. Judy Bombshell, Little Women, Marriage Story, Harriet. Seems pretty sketchy. The Irishman came out like yesterday. There's always a controversy. Yeah, Ryan, people take things so serious, right? Award shows are a joke for the most part. But Levi, yeah. I was just curious if you had any favorites. Oh, I gotcha. So, no, it's been kind of a... not a great movie viewing year for me, Levi. Just been a busy year. We've sold our house. We've lived with my folks for 6 months building a new house. And my daughter's gotten more... not not clingy, but like more interactive and more fun, and she constantly wants to play. And she's going to bed later, and so we don't really have much time to watch stuff like we used to. So it has not been a good year for watching movies. In fact, everything that on this list, literally everything that I'm looking at on this list, I have not seen other than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I'm still scrolling. I've seen a lot of the TV. I've seen The Crown. My wife loves Big Little Lies. Man, if you guys haven't seen The Crown, it is so good. Mr. Robot. I've never gotten into it. I gave it a shot. I just couldn't get into it. Fleabag. Fleabag is what you guys should be watching if you haven't seen it. It is hilarious. The second season of Fleabag is some of the best TV I have ever seen. It's so good, man. It's so good. No, I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit. I really want to, though. I don't really know too much about it, but it kind of reminds me of a movie that I love. I used to have a poster of it in my old office. The Great Dictator. Charlie Chaplin movie. I love it, but it kind of reminds me of that, you know, a little bit of satire there. But I appreciate that, Levi. And Carter Lovejoy. Good to see you, Mr. Theorist. Carter, I appreciate that support this evening. Theory. We don't see General Hux because he got fired by Kylo Ren and he's now working at McDonald's on Coruscant. There's another good idea for a... Well, somebody could make that in stop motion, right? I'm not going to do a General Hux. I would have to expose my face. That's not a bad idea for a parody, for sure. I like that idea. Carter, kind of off subject here. Well, it's on subject. Star Wars. I popped on The Last Jedi the other day when me and my daughter were just building some blocks because, you know, have something on in the background. And when I looked over, I saw kind of Kylo and Hux exchanging glances, like when they were talking to Snoke. Hux was leaving the room, Kylo was coming in. They exchanged glances like, you know, like kids would. If, like, the kid was in trouble, right? Your brother was in trouble, he's going into the parents' room, and your brother, who's walking out of your parents' room, gives you a little shit-eating grin, like a ha-ha. They exchanged that look. Definitely competing factions there, right? And I have been saying it for a long time now, but I think Kylo Ren is going to snuff out Hux pretty quickly. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah. They got McDonald's in Star Wars? They got, hey, they got McDonald's over there where you live? Yeah. Yes, they do. They have McDonald's everywhere. But I appreciate that, Carter. No, I haven't seen Knives Out, Wayfez. That's on my list. Literally the only movie that we've watched is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, only newer movie that we've watched. There's a lot on my list that I want to see, man. But yeah. Yeah, that's true. Dex's Diner, Andy. JJ, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Just Jedi said, I want to buy your book, HG. I found out it does deliver to Argentina. So, no, there's one more dude reading your work. By the way, have you seen Breaking Bad? Well, first of all, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. I've been curious where it does and doesn't ship, because as you guys know, it's self-published through Amazon. And yeah, I just uploaded the text and I uploaded my art, my cover art and everything. And then Amazon manufactures it and ships it. I do not touch the final product. And I've been very curious where they ship to. And so far, I have not found anybody who has not been able to get it. So wherever Amazon ships, it seems like, you know, it can be shipped. It's kind of crazy. But I appreciate that, man. I hope you dig it. As Andy said, it's kind of a messy stream of consciousness, and there's a reason I titled it what I titled it. But yeah. And yes, I have seen Breaking Bad. Me and my wife, I think, started watching it after the first season had already aired, so we started at the second... We didn't start it at the second season, but we started watching it, but right before the second season came out, we caught up, you know. And then from there, we caught every single episode live when it was airing. We even had Breaking Bad parties with my family and friends. So, I loved it. I loved it. It's kind of, I haven't had it. Well, Game of Thrones was like that, right? Watching episodic things. Now we have The Mandalorian. And it's fun when this giant, you know, just kind of cultural, I don't know, timestamp happens with TV. Where you got your Breaking Bad, you got your Game of Thrones, you got your Soprano back in the day. Sopranos is still my favorite, all-time favorite show. I love it. You got your Mandalorian now. So, I did see the Breaking Bad movie. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. It was really well done and very tense, for sure. They did a good job. But yeah, man. Love me some Breaking Bad, JJ. And maybe when my daughter's old enough, we'll sit down and show her the shows that we once watched, right? This is so boring, Dad. What? It's Walter White. It's the most intense thing. It's so boring. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And the Joker, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Hey, friend, smiley face. You excited for the next 007 movie? Yeah, let me see what I have seen. I'm not the biggest James Bond fan. I mean, I enjoy him. I watched him as a kid. I haven't really stayed on top of, how many movies have there been? 25, counting No Time to Die. Is that right? No. 26, 27. Non-Eon films. What does that mean? Eon and non-Eon. What does that mean? I'm just a little confused. A James Bond, Eon. Eon Productions? Is that what we're talking about? Oh, interesting. Non-Eon is non-canon. Justin Proper. Does James Bond really need canon? Do we really need, like, James Bond lore? The actor changes all the time. Stuff is constantly changing. I guess so. Just have some fun. Just have some fun. So, Joker. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm extremely excited. I'll probably end up seeing it. I've seen, I would say, the majority of them. There's a lot that I have not seen. Primarily, you know, some of the ones from the 60s that I haven't seen. I think the only one from the 60s I've seen is Goldfinger. Looking at a list. And at a certain point, they all start to kind of blend together for me. So, obviously, I saw all the ones that I grew up with Pierce Brosnan and stuff like that. But yeah, not the biggest James Bond fan. Nothing against the series. It's just not something that I've always gone out of my way to see, you know. But they're fun. They're fun movies. But yeah. Anyway, Joker. I appreciate that, man. Casino Royale, 1970, not Eon. And those are not fun. Oh, they're not fun. Okay. All right. All right. Well, then just get rid of them. Whatever. Don't add them to the box set, I suppose. No, I haven't seen Joker yet, Nathan. Like I said earlier, man, I haven't really. We've been slacking in our movie department since our daughter was born almost 2 years ago. We haven't really watched many movies. We've only seen Solo in the theater since she was born, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think those are the only two movies that we've seen in the past 2 years in the theater. So, but yeah. Nick DeVore. That is the $1 million question, right, man? Nick says, what are you hoping the Emperor's role will be in The Rise of Skywalker? Do you think it's a cheap bait to build nostalgia, or do you think his implementation could actually be good? I don't think it would be cheap bait. I don't really, I don't see that happening. That's not really been their, I don't know. I really don't know, man. The way J.J. Abrams has talked about kind of how Rian Johnson's movie inspired him to just make the movie that he wanted to make and not really play it safe like he did with The Force Awakens. I don't see it being a cheap nostalgia thing. Could be wrong. And for me, Nick, when I see it, when I see the trailers and whatnot, maybe I'm a little more subdued than a lot of people that are speculating, but I think it's going to be a relatively small role. I don't think there's going to be any like force lightning or craziness like that. I think it's, if any, I really don't know. I have no idea what his role is going to be. I mean, it could, for all we know, it could be a hologram, some kind of recording. It could be anything, you know. But I do have a feeling it's going to be a lot more subdued than some people are thinking. Could be wrong, of course, but I don't know. That's what's fun about this, Nick, is there's what, a 2 or 3 year break in universe time between The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. No, we have no idea what's been happening unless you've read Rise of the Resistance. Wait, is that what it's called? Is that what that book is called? Resistance Reborn? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Resistance Reborn. Even then. But, and anything goes now, and we really don't know where we stand with our characters. I don't know. Be fun. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just hope it's fun, and I hope it's not some big nostalgia gimmick, but you never know. Paul Whitson, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that this evening at 8:14. It's already been almost 30 minutes. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for maybe like an hour to 2 hours. We'll see. My wife has a show that comes on at 9, so I'll just be hanging out here after the stream. If their show's still on, I might play a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. But Paul Whitson, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. Just got your book in the mail today and excited to dive in. It looks awesome. Cheers, good sir. Well, thank you for the thank you for plugging. Sorry about the mess. And yeah, man, I hope you dig it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You know, as Andy, Mr. Star Wars Rambling said earlier, it's a stream of consciousness, and well, for a lot of the time it is. It ended up being a more personal book than I anticipated it being. You know, and I hope you get something out of it. I hope you chuckle. I hope you can relate. I hope you agree. I hope you disagree. And I hope, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. There's bits and pieces of random nonsense in there that I just felt like talking about. I dive into what made me start the channel. I talk about social media. I talk about my time. There's an entire chapter about my time in the United States Navy, being a dad, just a bunch of stuff. So I really hope you enjoy it, man. And once again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And if you don't enjoy it, thanks for supporting the channel. At least the cover looks cool, right? But Paul, thank you so much for that channel support this evening, man. And you'll have to let me know what you think. But once again, I appreciate that. Would you like to see an ET-like character since they are a canon race? No, because that's like a little Easter egg, man. The ET, it's an Easter egg, right? Is it canon? Is it canon if it's just like a fun little throw-in Easter egg? I don't know. You know? No, I wouldn't. That's just kind of like a fun background. Oh, look, ET species. But yeah. Oh, Jordan Smith, once again, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Jordan says, what era would you want to see a Disney Plus show take place in? I kind of want a clone. Wait, I kind of want a Clones Band of Brothers type show, or a show on Luke between 6 and 7 Clone War style. So yeah, if we're gonna have another Disney Plus show, you know, obviously we're getting the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan show. We have the Mandalorian, which kind of takes place. Well, it's gonna take place before the OT. So God, it's for me, it's like getting confusing with the time frames and everything like that. And if I could pick an era, a time for another Disney Plus show to take place, Jordan, it would be probably in the prequel era, or even further back than that. Well, oh, one sec.
Cavalry charge on the outside of a Star Destroyer and a space battle raging is a bonkers Star Wars themed fever dream from when I was 6.
Nice. Andy, thank you so much, man. And Robot, thank you for reading that. Give me one sec there, Mr. Andy. So yeah, Jordan, I would love more, you know, prequel era shows or movies and whatnot. I think a TV show a live action TV show would be perfect for an era like that. But for me, I would almost want to go even further back in time. Maybe explore the beginnings of when people discovered the Force. I've talked about this before, so but I think that would be an interesting thing. And I would also love kind of a show that, you know, before the prequels took place, the building of the Republic and the building of governments, and why factions started splintering, why, you know, the Separatists and the Confederacy, systems of planets broke away. Why this this uprising across the galaxy, right? I would love a show that was maybe a little bit of like a political thriller in a way, you know, set in the Star Wars universe. I think something like that would be really interesting. You don't necessarily need blasters and lightsabers and stuff like that for a show like that. But something like that set in the Star Wars universe would be different. And it would be interesting, you know. For me, the thing that pops into my head is the book Bloodline. Loved it. And I think a show like that would just be kind of perfect, you know. Follow some characters around. A lot of political drama. Political thriller. And I would love to see something like that. But yeah. Anyway, Jordan, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, anything like Band of Brothers style is gonna work. That's why I love like the Rookies episode and the Domino Squad arc of the Clone Wars, because it heavily reminds me of that, you know, in a way. But yeah. But I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much as well. Do you collect anything? So Vince, the only things that I collect are well, I haven't really collected much of anything lately, but if I'm, man, so I'm going to say pint glasses, coffee mugs, and shot glasses, and maybe t-shirts, and it's only from places I've been. So, you know, if I haven't been anywhere lately, I don't have anything new. So, you know, I got a coffee mug collection from places I've been down in South America on deployment, coffee mugs from, you know, out west in Utah when we went to all the national parks, just coffee mugs from London, just everywhere, you know, shot glasses too, and pint glasses as well. So those are really the only things that I collect, things that I can use. I guess everything is drinkable, I suppose. So yeah, no. Oh, Overlorded, on my screen it shows that Vince was first. Oh, but that is wrong. My Streamlabs is incorrect.
My reading is
one sec.
typically limited to military history or whatever college professors shove into a history curriculum, but you've been one of my favorite YouTubers for a while. Thanks for what you do.
Lucas, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec there. Give me one sec. Overlorded, I apologize. Streamlabs is wrong about the order of super chats there. But give me one sec. I apologize there. But yeah, Vince, so the only things that I collect are like, yeah, coffee mugs, shot glasses, and pint glasses. And it's only from places I've been, you know, so. I don't collect any Star Wars stuff. I've never collected anything like that. So, I like not accumulating shit. I don't like having a bunch of stuff. Like, especially when we moved, we sold our house and we moved in here, and now we're moving again in 2 days to our new house, to our final house, probably the house that we're gonna live in until forever and ever, that we just built. I just don't like having stuff. So yeah, I'm not much of a collector. Well, yeah, Overlorded Sith, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Cade Skywalker versus Luke. Who wins? I don't know too much about Cade Skywalker. Cade Skywalker was a human smuggler youth who is... Wait, okay, let me read the synopsis. I'm not too familiar with... Obviously, he's not canon. Of course, Star Wars Explained has a video. Every single article that you go to on Wikipedia will have a Star Wars Explained YouTube clip at the top of it. It is crazy. Those guys are so prolific. Insane. So, let me see. Cade Skywalker was a human male bounty hunter, smuggler, and pirate who in his youth was once the Jedi Padawan of Wolf Sazin, the son of Jedi Master Cole Skywalker. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't really know much about any of this stuff, to tell you the truth. So just for the sake of argument and for the sake of being an original trilogy fanboy asshole and not knowing any of what I'm scrolling through right now on this Legends tab, like literally, I'm going to say Luke. just because he has that sweet ass Return of the Jedi green lightsaber. But Overlorded, yeah, there's like a whole just kind of giant chunk of legends that I never knew about, that I never paid attention to, that I was never privy to, that I never knew anything about. While I have heard the name, I believe I have Cade Skywalker, there's a lot of characters that I've heard of like that. I don't know their backstory. I don't know where they came from, and what they did, you know, in their time in the spotlight. But yeah, just Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Okay. Where was it? Star Wars Ramblings, Mr. Andy. Thank you so much, man. I'm so ready for the Rise of Skywalker. Cavalry charge on the outside of a Star Destroyer with a space battle raging is a bonkers Star Wars themed fever dream from when I was 6. Yeah, when I first saw that clip in the trailer, I was like, what? Huh? It's so crazy, and I'm assuming it's all taking place at the end when everything is just balls to the wall. I have a feeling that the final act of the Rise of Skywalker is going to just be the most just insane, outlandish, over the top battle sequence we have ever seen in Star Wars. And I'm excited for that. But yeah, dude, Andy, it's so hard to believe that it's only 2 weeks away. Especially, I think I've just been so busy, and it hasn't really sunk in that it's less than 2 weeks away now. Wow. It just hasn't really sunk in that it's so close, just because, you know, I had so much crap going on lately. But I got my buddy coming into town. He's gonna watch it with me. I got my other buddy that I grew up with. Actually, the guy, if you guys have read the first chapter, Joey, you know, Star Wars Freak Nights, he's coming with me. And a couple of my other buddies are coming too. So, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm very curious how that's gonna play. I mean, wouldn't the Star Destroyer just have to fly up and just kill them all? I don't know. Frankie, usually it's just whenever I glance over at the chat.
The feeling in the fandom will be after the final episodic film, not in terms of liking or disliking the movie, but in the fans knowing the period of SW storytelling is now over.
Oh, that's a really interesting question, Vince. Give me one sec, man. Give me one sec. Frankie, it's usually just when I glance at the chat and the first thing that my eye catches. But right now I have some super chats to tend to. But yeah. Crash the Hedgehog 91, thank you so much, man. Would you like to see a Star Wars show similar to Marvel's What If? What If? Is that like one of those History Channel shows? I don't know what that is. What If Marvel? I've never heard of this. What If, sometimes rendered as if What If, is a series of comic books published by whose stories explore how the Marvel Universe might have... Ooh, yes! I love that. I love that. Kind of like an alternative history. Oh. Okay. Oh, I love that idea. Is that... Oh, wow. No, yes, I love that idea. And I don't know if they would ever do something like that with Star Wars, you know. They seem to be pretty kind of lock and key and tight with like canon and stuff like that. But you know, fun should always trump canon, in my opinion. And if we want to have some like alternate history, comics and all that kind of stuff, I would absolutely love something like that, Crash. I would love it. It kind of reminds me of the is it called Red Sun? I think it's called Red Sun Superman. Yeah, Red Sun. Superman Red Sun. I have the graphic novel. Superman Red Sun kind of reminds me of what you're talking about, Crash. alternate history, alternate fake history. So in Superman Red Son, instead of crash landing when he was a baby in the United States, he crash lands in the Soviet Union. And Superman becomes an agent of the Soviets. And it's from his perspective as a kid and somebody who grew up in the Soviet Union. It's such a really great... It's really good. And yes, I would love something like that, Crash. Love something like that. You know, what if the Empire won? Yeah, you know, I mean, there's so many different avenues that they could go down with an alternate history Star Wars thing, you know. But so yeah, I didn't know Marvel did something like that. But yeah, I would love it, man. I appreciate that tonight. In Makatsi, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Did you hear about the Star Wars Fortnite event? Star Wars Fortnite event. No, I haven't. I'm just, as I Google it. A scene from the new Star Wars will premiere in Fortnite. In Fortnite, so people are going to sit there and watch a movie screen in the game. PCGamer.com. Makatsi, let's see. Star Wars is coming to Fortnite again with a scene from The Rise of Skywalker to be shown in-game cinema. The exclusive scene premiere will be shown for the drive-in on December 14th. Posters have begun appearing in the game to let players know that doors open. I didn't even know this was a thing. So there's a free like roam area in Fortnite where you can just walk around. No, I don't Fortnite. I've played it maybe twice. Is there a just a free roam lobby you can walk around like Second Life? I mean, I'll wait for it to. I'm sure it'll get uploaded, right? I'll wait. I'm not going to watch it in the game, but getting Fortnite so I can see that Star Wars clip. Just give it like 5 minutes after it airs. I'm sure it'll pop up on YouTube. No, it's in the Battle Royale map. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. It's a part of the map. Okay, so no, I did not hear about this. So a scene from the movie. To tell you the truth, Makatsi, I'm probably going to hold off. I'm probably not going to watch that scene. Just because, you know, December 14th, that scene comes out, and then December 19th, I see the movie. I can wait. I can hold off. I want to go into the theater not seeing scenes. I want to go into the theater as blind as I possibly can be, you know. But I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I could watch it, make a video, and talk about it, but, you know, this is the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. This is episode 9. I will sacrifice views for viewing pleasure, right? So, but I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch it, Makatsi. And as I say all that gobbledygook, there's a good chance that I will cave and I'll end up watching it. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. And Lucas Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. My reading is typically limited to military history. Again, thank you for the patience as well. I'm very long-winded, Lucas, so I appreciate the patience. Lucas says, my reading is typically limited to military history or whatever college professors shove into a history curriculum. But you've been one of my favorite YouTubers for a while. Thanks for what you do. I appreciate that, man. Did you pick up the book? I hope you like it. It's not military. Well, there's a little bit of military history in there. There's an entire chapter devoted to my time in the Navy. So I guess that's a microcosm of a grand military history, I suppose. Yeah, I grew up reading a lot of that stuff too. That was when I was like a teenager. I was kind of really, really into that kind of stuff. A lot of fiction, like World War II fiction as well. Just kind of, you know, like, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I really appreciate the kind words there, and yeah, if you picked it up. Hopefully, it wets your whistle for a little bit of random stream of consciousness YouTuber nonsense. because there's a lot of that. But dude, I appreciate the hell out of that. I'm curious what your college professors shoving into the history curriculum, because like Lucas, we're going down a little history tangent here, but I've always thought about that. When I got out of the Navy, my goal for a while was actually to become a high school history teacher. That was my goal and my dream for a while. And before I got out of the Navy, that's kind of what I was going to shoot for. And I thought about it, and if that ever became a thing, I would like have a space week. I would want to talk, because all throughout my time in school, you know, the space race and space exploration and the history of that's such a huge part of humanity, right? Think about it. In the distant future, when people are navigating our solar system or beyond, won't this brief moment of time when we broke the bounds of our planet, won't that be one of the most interesting times for people to read about? I would think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I also think that the time we're living in now, and every generation probably thinks this, right? Every generation probably going back 100 years, 1,000 years, probably thought this time is great. People are going to talk about this time forever. But the time we're living in is different. The time we're living in is a time period that, you know, if a time machine was ever invented, hopefully it never will be, it's where people would want to look, because it is the birth of a technological revolution. Before, you know, even home computing, well, let's say before the Industrial Revolution, life was pretty much the same, right? For the most part, yeah, maybe new tools were invented and whatnot, but then boom, energy, boom, technology. The world has changed. In the past 100 years, it has changed like it had never changed before in the entire history of our planet. And I think this time period right now will be a very, very interesting time period for future humans to kind of study, because it's the birth of everything that is coming in the future, you know? But yeah, we're living in some pretty historic times for sure, and I think a lot of us, me included, take it for granted, right? We just have this little dinky device in our pockets all the time. We can scroll through Twitter and watch people yelling at each other all day, but it's way more than that. It's way more than that. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, man. And I hope you dig the book. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much as well. What do you think the feeling in the fandom will be after the final episodic film? Not in terms of liking or disliking the movie, but in the fans knowing that period of Star Wars storytelling is now over. I would like to think, at least, Vince, that people will be looking to the future, right? I mean, we're Star Wars fans. We're always looking to the past. We always like the movies that we liked. We love dissecting them and watching them over and over again. We can't get enough of them. But I would like to think that the fandom as a whole would be looking to the horizon to what fun stuff was coming in the future, right? That chapter's written. What new Star Wars stories can we tell? I hope that's just the kind of general feeling in the fandom after The Rise of Skywalker. I doubt it. I mean, people will talk about the things that they don't like in movies forever and ever. I've been guilty of that. There's nothing wrong with it. But for the most part, once this final chapter is written, I'll be looking forward. And I hope everybody else will be looking forward as well to what new trilogies, what new stories will be told, what new eras will be explored. Because, you know, it's a blank slate. It's a clean chalkboard. And anything can be written. And that's what excites me about future Star Wars, you know. But yeah, we'll see, Vince. We'll see, Vince. I mean, if history is our guide, it's gonna be loud. But I appreciate that, man. And Tom Ferrara, thank you as well. I saw this in a meme that said, in Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan tells R2-D2 to activate elevator 31174. Does that mean that General Grievous's flagship has over 30,000 elevators? Activate elevator 31,000. Oh, that's interesting. That could be a position. Oh, that's really interesting. Maybe? And maybe that's just some gobbledygook that they said. You know what I mean? Just Lucas wrote it into the script, some numbers that he liked. Maybe that's somebody's birthday. March 11th, 1974, you know? But if that's the case, if there are over 30,000 elevators, I mean, I doubt that. Maybe it's a positional thing, right? Maybe level 3... 11, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like a positional thing on a ship where, you know, you have your I was an air guy, so I don't know too much about boats, but you have your everything. How does it go? I believe 0 is water level. I don't know. Or no, I can't remember. Maybe it's some kind of grid. There you go. That's a good way to put it, Clay. But the idea of General Grievous's flagship having over 30,000 elevators is hilarious to me. Somebody turned that into well, you said it was a meme, but somebody turned that into like an illustration. The entire ship would just be nothing but elevators. Yeah, elevation and deck, thank you. But, no, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. But I like that. That's a fun observation for sure. But yeah, I'm guessing it's March 11th, 1974. Let's see when George Lucas kids. His kids were younger than that, right? Jet's not that old. Amanda Lucas, let's see. Definitely not. Way younger. 1981. Oh, he has a 6-year-old daughter? I didn't realize that. No. Maybe it's somebody's birthday. Maybe not. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Just Jedi, once again, thank you so much. Not going to watch the scene from The Rise of Skywalker either. Seeing the movie on December 18th here. Watching episode 7, 8, 9 at the theater in one afternoon. Excited. I wish I could do that. That sounds like an absolute blast. It's actually going to be kind of tight with us getting to the theater on time because we're driving my daughter over to my parents' house. They're going to babysit. And then we're going to rush to the theater. I don't know if we're going to have time to get our traditional pre-Star Wars movie buffalo chicken sandwich that we've gotten for every single Star Wars movie going back to the prequels at the same exact restaurant. Me and my buddies. Tradition is important when it comes to Star Wars, for sure. But December 18th, that means I gotta go dark even earlier on social media, man. I didn't realize that. So yeah, we move into the new house on Wednesday, JJ. And then I plan on watching 7 and 8, but in that week time frame before we go see the movie, right? I don't know if I'll have time to watch anything else, but in a perfect scenario, I would love to be able to watch episodes 1 through 8. I do not have enough time for that, unfortunately, but that would be a blast. Seeing 7, 8 in the theater and then gearing up for episode 9 that same day. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you there. I haven't watched any scenes from The Rise of Skywalker or TV spots rather, unless they've just randomly been on TV. I haven't sought them out. You know, we're so close to the movie. I don't need to see anything else. I would rather kind of not spoil even the smallest moments, you know. But yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate that. Vince Wynn, are you one to rewatch the saga in anticipation for a new film? I usually try to because it adds something for me, but it gets harder to find time. Well, yeah, as I just said, yeah, it's hard to find the time, man. like with yeah, it's just really hard to find the time. In the past, I did that a little bit with leading into The Force Awakens. That's the last time that I did that. With The Last Jedi, I didn't do that. I just watched The Force Awakens before going to see that. With The Rise of Skywalker, I'm probably just going to watch 7 and 8. I just, yeah, like you said, it's just hard to find the time. My days, I wake up at 4 in the morning every morning. I work on channel stuff. My daughter wakes up. I watch her all day. I work on and then sometimes I'll work on freelance stuff while she's awake. But if she takes a nap, that's usually when I work on channel stuff or freelance stuff. When she wakes up, we're playing. When my wife gets home, we're eating dinner. We play with our daughter. My wife goes and rocks my daughter to sleep. And I hop on and do a little stream. And that's my day. And it's kind of hard to find time, to watch some Star Wars. But, maybe next week in the new house, I'll just have the movies on, kind of as background noise as we're playing, in the new house. And that might be the way to kind of get my fill. Maybe she'll glance over. She already knows Star Wars. Like if she sees something on TV or sees a picture or something like that has a lightsaber or Rey or Luke or any character, she knows it. She says Star Wars. It's kind of crazy. But I appreciate that, man. Oh, man. All right. And David Bland, video idea. Worst sequel era leaks / spoilers. David, if you, yeah, I like that idea. That's right up my alley for sure, Dave. Maybe you've seen the video that I made about Super Shadow. Let me see. Perfect. Here we go. Here, check this video out if you've never seen it. It's a video that I made about the original Star Wars internet troll. And a lot of what I would make for a video like that, Dave, would be found in this video that I just linked. So, but I love that idea. I actually wanted to make a video, David, just called The Rise of Skywalker Leaks, and make the thumbnail like super clickbaity, and then literally just have me for 5 minutes grunting on the toilet with diarrhea sound effects for 5 minutes. And then at the end of 5 minutes, I blast off and I like rocket off of the toilet in a jet stream of diarrhea. That's the quality content that Hello Greedo makes. But yeah, I might actually make that before The Rise of Skywalker. A last haha to all the leaks and the nonsense spoilers that that we've all had to sift through over the past, I don't know. Disney acquired the franchise in 2012, so a whole lot of nonsense since then, right? So basically the diarrhea water slide, pretty much. Yeah. But David Bland, I appreciate that support this evening, man. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you're having a good start to your week. And I dig the idea. I like it. Actually, Dragon, I have not seen the 2003 Clone Wars animated series. That is, without a doubt, the most requested thing on this channel that I get thrown my way. I've never watched it. And after, The Mandalorian, after The Rise of Skywalker, I'm going to be watching the Clone Wars in February. After The Rise of Skywalker and after The Mandalorian, I'm going to be watching the rest of the Clone Wars Season 6 that I need to catch up on, making those videos. And then February is when the new season starts. So, after that, I'll probably end up watching it, But yeah. Tony Mario Golden II, thank you so much, man. When I was a kid, first watching Empire, I didn't know who Yoda was and was shocked when he revealed himself to Luke. Did you experience the same? I don't know if I did. the thing is, like, Star Wars, I don't have any memories of the first time that I watched Star Wars. It's just been, I mean, I probably watched them when I was 2 years old, and I just continuously watched them. And my memories of those early days are so fuzzy because, like, I almost don't have memories in my life before Star Wars was able to form a memory in my life. Does that make sense? So, no, I don't remember feeling that way, and it's not to say that I didn't feel that way. I just don't remember it. I love hearing that, though, Tony. I love hearing that because there's so many little things like that, right? That, like, whoa moments. In the original trilogy, even, you got your Yoda right there. If you had never even heard of Yoda, if you had never seen Star Wars, if you weren't just privy to every Star Wars thing in the zeitgeist and cultural phenomenon that Star Wars is, and you did not know who Yoda was, that would be a fun moment to see in the theater, or not the theater, but to watch and experience for the first time. That would be an amazing moment. And in a way, it kind of sucks that a lot of this stuff is just known, right? Because I don't think there's ever going to be another kid who sits down and watches Star Wars. I take that back. I mean, there definitely will be. But it's just so prevalent now. Everybody knows Yoda, right? But such a fun introduction. There's another moment, Tony, with Jabba. You know, nobody knew what Jabba the Hutt looked like from 1977 to 1983 until they saw him in Return of the Jedi. His name was thrown around, but nobody knew what he looked like. And then we see him in Return of the Jedi. But now everybody knows who Jabba looks like. And even if somebody wanted to go in blind and never have watched Star Wars, they can only watch the special editions now. And in the special editions of A New Hope, Jabba the Hutt is there in big CGI fashion. It ruins the mystery of who Jabba the Hutt is, right? So there's another moment. So, yeah, I mean, like, the giant cultural popularity is great for Star Wars, but in a way, it almost kind of, not ruins, but kind of spoils surprises, because things are already known, and it's kind of hard to avoid major things like who Yoda is, right? Sitting down to watch Empire for the first time. Not very many people are going to experience that, you know. But yeah. Anyway, Tony, that's a really cool memory. And yeah. I appreciate that, though, man. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much as well. Worst piece of... Oh, let me take a quick sip. All right. Vince Wynn, thank you once again. Worst piece of Star Wars marketing you've seen. Oh, man, that's tough. Let me find a picture of it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, here you go, guys. I'm going to link something for you. Here you go. Vince, here is your answer. I don't know what this website is, so I apologize if it's something ridiculous. Nope, it's an old... Oh, wow. This is an old-ass website. There is the worst Star Wars marketing thing that I've ever seen. That link that I just posted. That is a Jar Jar Binks sucker. His mouth opens and his tongue is a lollipop. That's the worst Star Wars marketing thing that I've ever seen. Push plunger forward to eject candy tongue. Monster mouth is easy to use. That's it. The Jar Jar Binks lollipop. Let's. I gotta look this up, Vince. I'm looking up on eBay if that's Jar Jar lollipop. Nah, nobody's selling that. I was thinking maybe somebody still had one in a package. That's funny. But yeah, there's your answer, Vince. Sold! Oh, I never had one, but I remember seeing it. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Oh, that stuff is so preserved, fidgety. Figgity. You could heat that until the sun burns. It's already burning. What are you talking about? Clay, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Thoughts on rumor of a Star Wars anime show for Disney Plus? I haven't heard that rumor. You know, I take every rumor with a giant heaping spoonful of salt, and I don't believe most of them. That being said, you know, a Star Wars anime show for Disney Plus, I think that would be a hit. You know, there's a lot of like Star Wars anime fan art, which is really neat. Star Wars Resistance kind of had a little bit of an anime flair to it, at least in the animation. I thought. I don't watch anime, so I don't really know. But I like the idea. If that rumor comes true, I think it would be a pretty big hit. There's definitely a market for Star Wars anime, right? It would appeal to multiple, I guess, fandoms for sure. And it would kind of fit. So, yeah, I don't know if that's true. I've never heard that. If they made it, you know, I would watch it. It would be one of the only animes that I've ever seen. I've never been into it. I've always been curious just because I like the art style. It always looks fun to me. But yeah, if they chose to make that, I would be on board. For sure. I'm going to look that up. Oh, nothing comes up. That must be a really, really, really small rumor. I don't know, but yeah, if they ever did anything like that, I'd be on board. Why not? You know, there's a lot of Star Wars to explore. A lot of different animation styles to make a new Star Wars show with, and I would dig it for sure. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Clay. And JJ, Mr. Just Jedi, one last thing, HD, I'm doing a Star Wars fan film. Do you have any advice for me? I'm super excited, but it takes a lot of time and work. Cheers, buddy. That's tough, man. I've never made anything like that, so, you know, I don't know. I mean, probably the biggest thing, and it's not just for fan film, it's for any, you know, creating any story, is creating relatable characters, likable characters. And likable doesn't mean that, you know, likability in terms of like, you like them, they're a do-gooder, attaboy, I like him. Nah, I mean, likability can also mean, and to me at least, characters with layers that you can relate to. Black and white characters, you know, they're fun here and there. But whenever there's multiple dimensions to a character where you empathize and sympathize and relate to their plight and their struggle and their downfall even, makes it way more interesting. So I would recommend, I guess, just writing or trying to write characters with dialogue that you can relate to, put situations that you can relate to, not in terms of relate to that you've done it before, but, you know, you can see motivations is probably one of the biggest things as well. So I mean, my advice is all ass, but yeah, I would recommend really, really sit down and think about your characters. Don't rush characters. Don't rush dialogue. Think about the characters heavily. Write backstories even. Create well-rounded, three-dimensional characters that have backstories, that have motivations, that kind of stuff, you know. I heard Quentin Tarantino talk about whenever he writes a movie or whatnot, he writes entire backstories for characters that, you know, the backstories don't really matter, but he tells the actors the entire backstory of their characters so they can relate and they can understand where this character is coming from, and it helps the process. Even if you don't see it on paper, if you don't see it in the final product, it helps the process, and it helps the writer, right? It helps the actor, it helps the people portraying the scenes. But sorry, I just dropped. Where did that go? All right, drop something. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend. Blah, blah. I can't speak. Let me take a quick sip of the old water. But I appreciate that, man. It looks like he's actually driving. I am, man. We're heading to the Andromeda Galaxy. About halfway there. We got, I don't know, 2.25 million years to go. But yeah. Thoughts on YouTube Rewind? I've never watched a YouTube Rewind in my entire life. I've never watched one, so I just see people like every year. It seems like they get bent out of shape, and I just sit there going like, "Why? Who cares?" I don't know. Oh, Unicorn Flakes! I apologize, man. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I don't know. I must have completely... Maybe it was like in the middle of a scroll. I apologize, man. Unicorn Flakes, thank you, man. Yeah, stupid. My bad. Unicorn Flakes, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support tonight. Have you watched Star Wars Rebels? You should do reviews. So, I watched the entire first season of Rebels. And I enjoyed it. And then, I think what happened was let me look this up real quick, Unicorn Flakes, because Star Wars Rebels Season 2. Okay, that didn't happen. I was gonna say that I started watching Season 2 premiered. Boom. No, I was gonna say that I started watching Clone Wars. No. So yeah, I definitely finished the first season. I watched, I believe, 1 or 2 episodes of the second season, and I just never continued it. For whatever reason, I stopped watching them. And then I started watching, sometime in 2017, I started watching the Clone Wars, and I got really into that. So instead of going back to watch Rebels, I just kind of put all my effort into watching the Clone Wars, which I've grown to love. And so yeah, my goal, Unicorn Flakes, is to how do I put this? My goal is, I have to juggle this around in my brain. My goal is to obviously finish The Mandalorian, watch The Rise of Skywalker.
First time seeing
one sec.
it was in '97 at the theater for the special edition release, and tend to prefer those for nostalgia's sake.
Oh, nice.
I'm the only one, I'm sure. Lol. I hope one day we will have all the different versions on disc.
Paul, thank you so much for the incredibly generous super chat this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. But yeah, Unicorn. So my goal is to watch Mandalorian. Duh. Watch The Rise of Skywalker. Duh. And then after that, I'm going to watch the rest of the Clone Wars that I need to watch. I think I've just got like maybe 4 episodes of Season 5 left. And then the entirety of Season 6. So I'm gearing up to watch all of that before Season 7 of Clone Wars premieres in February. So, yeah. And then after Clone Wars Season 7 finishes up, I'm probably going to watch the 2003 Clone Wars animated series show, whatever it was, and then go back to Rebels. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I still need to watch. I'm often very, very late to the party when it comes to things, and Rebels is no different than that. So, I will eventually get around to watching it. I will eventually go back and do my review videos of that show, but got a little bit of time to wait. But yeah, but I appreciate that, man. Tommy Solano, Sawstek? I'm an idiot, and I'm sure I butchered that, Tom. But I appreciate that tonight. Paul Whitsett. On my screen, it shows that Tommy came in first there. Tommy, thank you so much. Hey, Greedo, I've been a big fan since 2015. Thank you for your channel. Have you ever seen Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal? No, I've never heard of it. Let me let this damn cat in. And as soon as I let this cat in, it's gonna... Oh, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, October 7th, 2019. One sec, let me let this cat in. Just sit. All right. Apologize, guys. So yeah, I've never heard this. Am I still live? I thought the internet went out. That would figure, right? I've never heard of this. I'm not really familiar with. I know he did a lot of stuff with the Clone Wars, correct? Actually, I don't know what he did. Come on. Now the cat wants to get out. This is, yeah. Hold on, one sec. All right, sorry about that. That's my late mother-in-law's cat that we took in about a year ago. She's sweet to a fault. But yeah, no, I've never heard of that. Not gonna say that I'll end up watching it, but the animation style looks pretty sweet. Dude, there's just so much great TV to watch, right? It is so hard to get around to watching everything. What is this show on? Adult Swim. Oh, interesting. We used to watch Adult Swim all the time. Before the kid, we used to watch a lot of stuff. Now we're in bed pretty early. But oh, did he make Dexter's Laboratory? Oh wow, wait, hold on. Oh, he created Dexter's Laboratory. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. I used to watch that growing up. That's cool. I never knew that. Interesting. But anyway, Tommy, I appreciate that, man. Maybe I'll give an episode a watch if it's ever on Adult Swim when I flip it on there. But big fan since 2015. That was like just gearing up, right? Gearing up for The Force Awakens. Star Wars is back. 2015 was just like ultimate level hype. I don't think I've said this before, but I don't think we'll ever have that kind of level of hype, that Star Wars wave that we experienced. I don't know if we'll ever get that again, unless Star Wars takes a long hiatus like it has in the past. I just don't think we'll ever get that level, that 2015 level of excitement again, you know. Could be wrong. You never know. Talking 30 years in the future, maybe. Paul Whitsett, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support, man. Incredibly generous this evening. Paul Whitsett. First time seeing original trilogy was in '97 at the theater for the special edition release, and tend to prefer those for nostalgia's sake. I'm the only one, I'm sure. I guarantee you're not. Because whenever I bring it up, I get people arguing against me all the time. I get it. You know, we love what we love. So you're not alone, man. I hope one day we will have all different versions on a disc. I'm in agreement. You know, I want the version that you love to exist. It's not like I want to destroy it. It's not like I want it not to be an option. You know, all I want is the theatrical cut. I just want the original versions unaltered to go side by side. Kind of like a theatrical cut and a director's cut, right? On a disc. Wouldn't that be incredible? I would love that. That's my dream. Hopefully that happens one day. But I was right there with you, man. I saw the special edition of A New Hope in the theater when it was re-released. I remember because, you know, you were probably, so that was the first time you ever saw it. But I remember watching it and being puzzled because, you know, you grow up watching. Well, I grew up watching the original trilogy. I grew up watching A New Hope. A New Hope was my favorite growing up. It's the one that I watched more than any of the others. So when I sat down to watch it in the theater, I was puzzled. You ever have those moments when you're watching something and maybe it isn't different, but you see a scene and maybe your brain processes it a different way than you originally did with previous viewings? And you go, whoa, I didn't realize that, or I never saw that before, or, you know, sometimes multiple viewings, you notice stuff. And I remember seeing the additions, the things that were added into the movie, and sitting back and going, was that in there? Is that on my VHS copies at home? And I was kind of puzzled. And I knew, like, the special edition, right? I knew that it enhanced stuff and things were going to be added here and there, but there were moments, like big moments, I was like, what? That's different. And it kind of took me aback. I remember seeing, I don't remember seeing Empire or Return of the Jedi when they were re-released in the theaters. I don't know if I did or not. But I vividly remember seeing A New Hope. Big time. But that was a fun experience. I'd love for the, the OT to be re-released in the theater, or at least have, like, some of my local movie theaters, indie movie theaters, play them one time just for, like, a fun evening. But yeah. Anyway, that is the dream, Paul. Maybe one day we will have them side by side on a disc, making everyone happy, right? As I've said before, it's less about, it's less Han shot first and more it belongs in a museum. So there you go. But I appreciate that once again, Paul. And Tommy, once again, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. It's the same guy who did the 2003 Clone Wars. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of then. Let me. I thought maybe he didn't have anything to do with the 2008 Clone Wars. Okay. Because I'm making a Clone Wars video, and I was going through, like, old forums from 2008, and his name got brought up a lot. So maybe people were just drawing comparisons. So that's interesting. Okay. I remember, like, when I was maybe like 2005, 2006, I remember my buddy telling me to watch the 2003 Clone Wars animated series. I never gave it a shot. He recommended it to me. Never gave it a shot. But like I said earlier, Tommy, that Clone Wars animated series from 2003 is without a doubt the most recommended thing to me on this channel. The most recommended thing to me. People are constantly telling me to watch it. I need to get around to watching it, and like I said, I'm probably going to end up watching it after I watch season 7 of the Clone Wars. I'll probably jump into that because why not? Looks pretty fun. But I appreciate that, Tommy. Vince Wynn, weirdest or most uncomfortable movie you've seen? Oh, I'm gonna say there's a movie called Closer that I don't like. What year did that come out? It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like when people are just so is that what it's called? Closer movie. Yeah, Closer. Closer is just like such an uncomfortable, like, couples just fighting and just being, it's just gross, and everybody's just like, I don't get it. I remember watching it being just like, oh, it's one of those movies that makes you just feel like blah, just like, not like, you get this gross, like, blah feeling, you know what I mean? You like, kind of like Requiem for a Dream, right? Great movie, but it makes you just feel like blah. It is definitely not an upper. I'm gonna be on the television. So yeah, I'm gonna say Closer. I'm gonna say closer. Maybe. Requiem for a Dream for a different reason. I actually like Requiem for a Dream. I did not like Closer, but Requiem for a Dream is one of those movies that just makes you kind of feel like, you know, everybody loses, and it's just, the mom is just on, yeah, it's like an all-around sad downer of a movie, you know. So probably those two are the ones that just kind of make me go blah. Requiem is a one-time watch, but one of my favorites. Yeah, it's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch, but it just makes you feel just like blah. You need a shower. I don't know. I'm gonna be on television. Did you hear I'm gonna be on television? It's been a long time since I've seen it. That's for sure. Been a long time. But I appreciate that, Vince. And Greg. Sorry about that. Got the sniffles. Greg, Gio Vanello? I'm a big dumb idiot, Greg, but I appreciate that channel support, even if I can't pronounce your name. That is all the fault of my own. But Greg, thank you so much for the super chat channel support this evening, man. Thank you for the channel. Well, I appreciate that. Just bought your book. Well, thank you so much for supporting the channel on multiple fronts there, man. I really hope you dig. I'm going to put the cover right there on the screen for anybody that has no idea what the hell we're talking about here. So yeah, a couple days ago I released a book. You know, it's been a fun little project I've dabbled in since 2016. It's kind of a stream of consciousness, various chapters, various talking points, all over the place. But did I really? I said it perfectly. I think you're being kind. Giovanello? Did I really say it? Giovanello. Wow, I'm kind of impressed with myself. I'm not the biggest dumb idiot that I originally thought I was. But dude, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. It was you know, a project of passion. It was a labor of love for literally 4 years. As I said in the book, the writing it was a happy accident. I enrolled in 2 college classes in 2016 using the GI Bill, and I picked 2 classes that had a 4-hour break in between them, and the campus was too far away to justify driving home, so I just hung out on campus and wrote videos on my laptop and stuff like that. And I ended up writing more than just videos. I ended up cataloging, you know, some life experiences, writing random thoughts about various things. And then eventually they kind of coalesced into semi-cohesive chapters. And that's kind of the story of it. So I appreciate the support, Greg. I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't, I appreciate the support. And if you don't, hey, at least the cover looks pretty sweet. But thanks again, man. I appreciate that. And Jacob Woodson Music, thank you so much as well. I never got to hear your thoughts on the final Ahsoka arc, which was my most looked forward thing to hear your thoughts on. What did you think? I haven't got there yet. I have not watched an episode of the Clone Wars in a few months. In fact, it's probably been a very long time, maybe like 5 months, right? So, I am like halfway through season 5, Jacob. Maybe not even that far, but I don't have very many to go. My goal, Jacob, is to, before the Clone Wars season 7 airs, is to finish up the episodes and the arcs that I have not watched yet. That's going to start after The Mandalorian finishes. When The Mandalorian's final episode airs, I'm going to immediately start watching the Clone Wars. I'm going to immediately start making videos. My kind of process for doing it is going to be different than it once was, because just kind of a time management thing. what I'm going to do, Jacob, is instead of making videos for individual episodes, I'm going to make videos for individual arcs. So I'm going to watch an entire, 4-episode arc and make a video about that arc rather than making it for individual episodes. So it's just going to be more manageable for me, given the limited amount of time I have nowadays. And it's going to be, people might even like it better, I tend to be very long-winded in those videos. And often I find myself kind of sounding repetitive when I go back and listen to those. And that's kind of my goal, is to turn, an entire arc into a video rather than individual episodes. So, you haven't missed anything, Jacob. Those will be starting up at the end of December once the final episode of The Mandalorian airs. And I will finish up just in time for Season 7 of The Clone Wars. Cool. But I appreciate that, Jacob. Joshua Messner, thank you so much, man. I don't know if you meant to type a little message in there or not. If you wanted to be the silent supporter, I appreciate it all the same, man. Is that your avatar's really? I guess that's Ahsoka, right? Yep, it is. I had to really squint and look. It's very small on my other monitor. But, Josh, thank you so much for the super chat channel support this evening. I appreciate the hell out of it. And Vince Wen, favorite Red Letter Media or Plinkett quote? There's really no quote. I would say, that's really tough. My favorite moments, I guess, let's turn it to moments, are, I love Rich and Mike moments. Like when Mike is just kind of just giving Rich a hard time. Rich is in on the joke, obviously, and he laughs, and those are my favorite moments. It's just like, it's a show of friends who talk about movies, and it kind of reminds me of like my buddies, and that's what their channel. That's why I love their channel so much, because it's just so authentic, and it's some lifelong friends who started a thing, and they have fun with it, So favorite quotes? I don't know. I don't know. I can't really think of any quotes off the top of my head. Rich's laugh is very infectious, for sure. For sure. But they're a funny group of guys. They they're my favorite YouTube channel for sure. We've talked about this before. And even, people I think just know them for the Star Wars the prequel reviews. That's not my favorite stuff that they've done. My favorite stuff that they do is like Half in the Bag or Best of the Worst. They have some. It's kind of a shame, because I think a lot of, especially Star Wars fans who kind of just are in their camp, right, in their tribe, they just hear the name Red Letter Media and they think of the prequel reviews. And I get it, if that's the only thing you've ever seen from them, I guess, and you're fans of the prequels or whatnot, I guess you could just be against it, or I don't know. But, it's a lot more than that. And plus, I've never seen them as like vitriolic or hateful, as some people do. I think people get so tightly wound up and take everything so serious that they miss the satire, they miss the jokes, and they just, I don't know. So people are so like, I don't know. Some people are just like, when I scroll through Twitter, man, it just bums me out, because everybody's just getting mad about goofy people on the internet, and then they turn into goofy people on the internet that are getting mad about goofy people on the internet, and everybody's just getting mad at goofy people on the internet, and it's just like, stop, take a breath. You don't have to comment on everything. You don't have to get mad about everything. Just calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Just calm down. But anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. I appreciate that, man. My favorite RLM content is their end of the year catch up and Half in the Bag. Yeah, Half in the Bags are great. I tend to I usually watch. I watch most of them. Unless it's a movie that I really want to see, then I don't watch it. And, I haven't really watched many movies lately in the past 2 years, any new movies, with the kid. So, there's a lot that I haven't watched. Yeah. Oh, let's try that. I can't do it. Gosh. Is that what he sounds like? Gosh. Gosh. No, that's not it. Can I rewind that and delete that? What are your thoughts on BB-8 being added to Battlefront 2, Jay Super? I like it. I've for a long time have been saying that I want characters that aren't like front and center obvious choices for heroes and villains. I've been saying that I want like random bounty hunters added, random background characters that might be known by the fans to be heroes in there too. So I like the idea of BB-8 being a hero. It's fun. Obviously people are going to be like, well, BB-8 killed Kylo Ren. That would never happen. Kylo Ren would dominate BB-8. BB-8 could not kill Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker would dominate BB-8. There's no way that BB-8 could destroy Anakin Skywalker, but in the video game, BB-8 killed Anakin Skywalker. I resent this. I do not accept this. BB-8 could never take down General Grievous. That is ridiculous. That stupid General Grievous would destroy BB-8 with one swift blow of a lightsaber and cut his whole body in half. That's stupid. BB-8 could not destroy Dooku. Dooku is the most powerful Jedi ever. Let's have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun. It's fun. BB-8 is going to be a fun character to roll around with, no question about it. So yeah, I embrace it. I don't know why I don't like those conversations. Like, I was scrolling through, as I often do. I call it the time machine. I go back and look at really old forum posts from, like, I was looking at Clone Wars era forum posts from 2008 when the Clone Wars was debuting in October and November 2008. And there were so many threads and posts talking about, like, how Luminario would destroy Ventress, and like all these, like, well, there's no way that so-and-so could beat so-and-so because so-and-so is a way more powerful fighter than the so-and-so. I do not like those conversations. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain why I don't like those conversations. It's just not, it's like just gobbledygook. It's who would win, the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Alabama football team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Well, the Jaguars would definitely beat any college. That's always a funny topic of conversation, right? Would the worst team in the NFL be able to beat the best team in college football? For whatever reason, that's like something that people say. Like, do you think the best team in college football could beat the worst team in the NFL? No, absolutely not. The worst team in the NFL would dominate the best team in college football. Dominate. But anyway. Can I sit shotgun? Absolutely, man. I'll Photoshop you in next time. I don't either. My friend asked me who's more powerful all the time. I don't know. Who lifts more rocks? I don't know. Braxton. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just kind of a conversation that there's no. It's like, to me, it's fun. It's fun, like shooting the shit conversation with your buddies, I guess. But it's I've never really been into that. It's not like a power thing for me. It's not, I don't know. I really can't describe why it's not something that I've ever enjoyed, Star Wars training has always been more focus, breathe, focus, not move this thing, now level up and move this bigger thing, now use force lightning. Yep, couldn't agree more. What's the conversation been about? Everything and nothing, caretaker. As they always are. But yeah. But yeah. Let's see. 9:30. Oh, weird. What does it have a watching count for you guys? My screen, on my screen, it just went from 264 down to 3 and then back up to 264. Did the stream cut out for you guys for a second? That was weird. I've never seen that happen before. It didn't. That's strange. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Oh, man. Anti-Oblivion Mirror. Could they be setting Baby Yoda on what is to become of Star Wars? Oh, what is to become of Star Wars? Now with Feige getting involved. Yeah, is that how you spell it? Okay. It's E before I, actually. Interesting. Feige getting involved. Could they be looking long-term for world building and planning? You know, that's maybe. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion, Anti-Oblivion, that Baby Yoda is just going to be a Mandalorian thing. I don't know why I feel that way, but I could be wrong. Star Wars has a long history of, you know, bringing characters from other things and plopping them into other things. I kind of like the idea of a show like The Mandalorian being its own kind of bubble where the things that affect The Mandalorian or affect the story don't really affect the rest of the Star Wars galaxy. Does that make sense? Obviously, I like that idea, but do I think that's actually going to happen? No, I think it's going to be, there's going to be some kind of tie-in. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is setting something up for the future of Star Wars. It's very hard to say though, you know. But as of right now, I just kind of have a sneaking suspicion that, and maybe it's on my own personal bias and wants, which obviously that's what it is, but I kind of like the idea of the Baby Yoda being this like thing that appears in a show and is mysterious through and through, you know. Not every question needs to be answered. Not every character needs to go on to do other stuff. I don't know. But yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't think Baby Yoda's going anywhere. I think he's going to be there for the entire time. I don't know. We'll see. Kenneth Brooks, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I appreciate that, man. Boba Fett, after possibly at end of episode 5. Oh, you know, this isn't spoiling anything, guys, because nobody knows. So if you haven't seen it, no worries. There's just kind of a tease, I suppose. No way that it alludes to being Boba Fett whatsoever. That is all fan conjecture. So do not worry about a spoiler. But so Kenneth, do I think it is Boba Fett? No, I don't. I don't. And again, that might be me and my own personal bias of not every character needs to come back, right? I'm probably in the minority when it comes to liking Boba Fett's death. The fans put so much emphasis on Boba Fett being awesome. I loved Boba Fett's death. I still like it. So no, I don't think it's going to be Boba Fett. It's kind of interesting to me. And this isn't a knock to anybody that kind of thinks this way, but it's interesting to me why a lot of people, whenever something mysterious happens or something is alluded to, or there's a cliffhanger, or there's a potential, a character that we don't know, everybody fills in the gaps of what we don't know with characters that we already know, right? So even relation. So, when we were gearing up for The Force Awakens, the internet was saying that Finn was going to be Lando's son, right? When there's a mystery, when there's an unknown, the fan base tends to fill in the gaps that are unknown with things that they already know, with heavy conjecture. And I just feel like that is a case, what we're seeing right now with the end of episode 5 of The Mandalorian. It's just a lot of gap filling with things that we're already familiar with. And maybe people are hopeful that it is. For me, it would do nothing for me if it ended up being Boba Fett. It would literally do nothing for me. I don't need to see Boba Fett again. I want a new character. I want this to be kind of I want the show to just stay on course with giving us new characters. That's what I've really liked about it. And if another character was introduced that we're already familiar with, it's cool, great, okay. You were gearing up for some fun stuff, but I just want new, So, it's possible. Anything's possible, Kenneth. But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that's just, I'm probably gonna end up eating my words, right? But I'm gonna say no. I'd probably end up rolling my eyes, to tell you the truth. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Hope you're having a good start to your week. And Caretaker Wanted, I appreciate that as well. One more day left, then I have a month off. A month off. What are you going to be doing? Hold on one sec, Caretaker. That's actually kind of a fun idea for a video. I haven't done a morning coffee video in a long time. I think the reason behind that is because, we've been living with my folks for 6 months while our house is being built, and I haven't been able to utilize coffee space. Let's see. Okay, I like that idea for a video. Filling in the gaps. Filling in the gaps. Okay, just want to write that down because I would forget it. So, where are you going, Caretaker? You got any big plans, or are you just going to be hanging out for a month? What are you off from? I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. What are you off from? What would I do with a month off? Well, I would probably end up camping for a month. I would probably contact a campground, maybe a national park, see if they need anybody to take care of the campsite for a month, or the campgrounds for a month. Get a free plot if I picked up trash. That's probably what I would do. Sounds like a dream. But hang out with my buddies. One of my friends is coming back from Chicago Navy. Nice. I got to go to school at San Jose State. I go to school at San Jose State. Next Monday is my final day. Awesome. That's so much fun, man. An entire month off. Dude, utilize it. Yeah, hang out with your buddies. Those are the times. Those are the best times for sure. But enjoy it. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Do some fun stuff. Make some plans. Listen to some good music. Hang out with the friends. Friends are as important as family, in my opinion. Friends are as important as family. Good friends, for sure. But, hell yeah, man. Enjoy it. A month off. In a few years, you might not ever have a month off. Ever. But, dude, enjoy it, man. I'm sure everybody in the chat is very envious. Hell yeah. But I appreciate that support this evening, Caretaker. And have some fun. And Marcus, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, wait. Marcus, yeah, thank you so much. And Kenneth Brooks, Kenneth was ahead of you. Kenneth Brooks, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Supposedly had same boot sounds when walking and same helmet beeping. If it's not him, it was intentional to allude to it, I think. Plus Tatooine. Favorite channel on the tubes, man. Happy holidays. Well, thank you so much. Happy holidays right back to you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Have a good one. Santa Claus is coming to town. Dude, well, I'm going down a little not a rabbit hole, but I'm kind of going off topic here. Dude, I explained Santa Claus to my 20-month-old daughter, Kenneth, and she sat there so intently listening to me. We have a Santa, like, doll, like a Santa, you press his hand, it goes, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. So she's been walking around with the Santa doll for a couple weeks, and I sat there and I explained Santa to her, and she was listening so intently, and I was wondering if she was getting it. And I said, so what does Santa bring you? She said, toys. And I said, yeah, what toy do you want Santa to bring you? And she said, ball. And I said, ball, like a ball you can play with, like a ball you can take outside. She said, mm-hmm. And we started like having a conversation. She's like super excited for Christmas because I think she gets it. You know, she gets it. As far as a 20-month-old can get it, but it's kind of blowing my mind. It's kind of blowing my mind, you know. But yeah. Anyway, Kenneth, I didn't know that. Supposedly had some same boot sounds when walking and same helmet beeping. Is that, man? I'm gonna have to look into that. That's the first I've heard of that. Boba Fett, The Mandalorian. I'm sure I'm gonna run across a whole bunch of. Okay, Polygon has an article. Why not? And maybe this is worth a video, right? The cape looks nothing like Boba Fett. The fact that the sounds of a boot similar could mean anything. The idea of him surviving the sub is impossible. Okay, so a fresh pair of boots. Immediately, Star Wars scrutinized the boots. The only real details provided through the show's dim cinematography. And concluded this masked character must be Star Wars' most famous bounty hunter. Yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, as I said, a lot of conjecture, right? Fans quickly cited Boba's appearance in the post-special edition versions of A New Hope as having a similar tracking sound to the one in the episode, and even called out the noises of the character walking as being similar to those in The Empire Strikes Back. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was an intentional bait and switch or something that alluded to it. Maybe, to me, it sounded like, you know, a jingle jangle of a cowboy walking through the sand and having spurs on his boots, you know. My head did not go to Boba Fett. It's kind of interesting how people's heads go to different places with something like that. And the article goes on to say, but if this is Boba Fett, he would have to have gotten an entirely new wardrobe and also cheated death by escaping a slow and painful blah, 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 blah. So, you know, maybe it's an intentional kind of alluding to. Maybe people are reading into it way too much. That's usually the case, in my opinion. Again, I could eat my words, but we'll see. We'll see. I would be very surprised if it ended up being a Boba Fett. To me, it's just not necessary. This is the tale of the Mandalorian. We're setting some fun stuff up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk about that. Maybe that's worth a video, you know. I won't really be able to make any videos Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday even because of the new house. We're not getting internet till Friday, so maybe that will be a fun just kind of stream of consciousness video that I can make. And something that I can schedule to upload while I'm busy with the new house. But anyway, I appreciate that, Kenneth. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support, man. Ever been to Copeland's restaurant? Yes. Whoa. You're blowing my mind. I was in Jacksonville and saw you had one there. Used to have one, but it closed. Yeah, man. Copeland's, New Orleans, right? New Orleans food. We used to have one. Well, it's still there. We used to live right around the corner from that restaurant. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yep, that's crazy. Small world. Yeah, we used to go there quite a bit when we lived around the corner. We used to live across the street from a movie theater called Tinseltown, and that is exactly where that Copeland's restaurant is. So yeah, good, really good stuff for sure. We probably haven't been there in, I don't even know, 6 years, I would say. It's probably been about 6 or 7 years since we've gone there, since we lived in that area. But yeah, me and my wife used to go there for her birthday dinner quite a bit. Delicious stuff. Hell yeah. God, I haven't been there in so long. Yeah, but it's really good. Really good for sure. Making me hungry. I had a giant BLT for dinner. We're making stuff that is like super easy before we move, so we're not dirtying up dishes and, you know, doing really simple food. So bacon, I made bacon in the oven. Oh, easy cleanup, right? So good. I have to go to Copeland's though. But anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. Haven't thought about that place in a very long time. Nick War, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. How is the Stormtrooper armor for prolonged use? I'm looking to join my local 501st Group Squad 7. Oh, nice. And I'm trying to decide on a costume. Nice, man. So prolonged use, I've had mine since 2013? I think I got it in 2013. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So, Nick, I got mine in 2013. Put it together with the help of some friends, 501st friends, and it's held up so well. I trooped heavily for those first 2 years that I was in, that I had my armor. I only needed to replace certain little, pieces of glue here and there, a couple little straps and whatnot. But once you buy it, man, it's really easy to keep up with. And, you have this costume for life. Don't leave it in your car in the hot sun. You don't want it to warp, right? But it is really hardy, with low maintenance. You always carry some Gorilla Glue or E9 or E6000 or something like that with you to fix some stuff. But it's for prolonged use. It's hardy, and if something breaks, it's easy to fix. I've had cracks happen in my armor, Nick. That's probably the worst things that have happened so far. But if you catch them quick, they're easy to maintain. I have one that's kind of like right under my rib cage, a crack in my armor. And as soon as I saw it, it was only like maybe a quarter of an inch, a crack that started. And as soon as I saw it, I texted my buddy. I asked him what I should do. He recommended cutting a piece of plastic out of some excess plastic that I had, and gluing it with E6000 on the inside of my armor right where that crack is, preventing the crack from splitting even more. So certain things like that, you got to look out for. But for the most part, man, I wore it heavily for 2 years and then on and off since then. It's in great shape still. You just take a magic eraser is what I do to it. Just get it looking sparkly again. But I would highly recommend the TK is my favorite costume. It's the only costume that I've ever wanted to get for my entire life. I wanted a Stormtrooper set of Stormtrooper armor. It was a dream forever and ever. Got one, put it together. But if you're looking to just join, you could always just do an easy Imperial officer, just to join. But yeah, I would recommend putting your money into something that you want long term, like a TK, like a biker scout, like something like that. But anyway, best of luck, man. There's so many people that are willing to help you. And before you jump into anything, without a doubt, ask for some help, because there's people that are very, very knowledgeable about that stuff. And when you get your armor, you don't want to mess it up. And so ask for help, look for help, and you'll be good to go. But I appreciate that support this evening, Nick, and best of luck to you, man. Hell yeah, Squad 7 501st. All right, guys, that was 2 hours. That was the longest stream I've done in a very long time. Maybe since Jedi Fallen Order launch night. But, so yeah, tomorrow I will probably do another stream. And then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, no streams. Probably a stream on Saturday with the new internet in the new house. Again, we're moving on Wednesday. That's our closing date. We close in the afternoon. Me and my wife are going to close on the house, and then we're staying the night, just the two of us. My daughter is staying with my parents, and we're going to be just moving a few boxes in and then staying the night, hanging out in the new house. It's going to feel weird, right? New house. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. And then Thursday is the big moving day with the big old U-Haul. And then we're set. So I'm hoping to get... I already have a video scheduled well, it's rendered, and I'm going to be probably scheduling it for either Wednesday or Thursday. It's a Clone Wars video, not an episode video. It's a video about Clone Wars reactions from when it first aired. I'm also working on a few other videos that I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping I'll get finished and scheduled for the time that I'm really not going to have to work on stuff and stream, just so there's not like a dead space, you know, in the channel's existence. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for a couple hours. I'll upload this. I'll make this public, just because it's a long hangout and these are always fun. But guys, some of you guys have been here for 2 hours. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. It's always a good time. I love these Lightspeed lounges, man. Little mini podcasts. I dig it. Nick of War, Vince Wynn, Kenneth Brooks, Marcus Cervantes? I'm an idiot and I butchered it. I'm sure I did, but I appreciate that, Marcus. Caretaker Wanted, Joshua Mesner, Jacob Woodson Music, Greg Giovanello. Yep, Giovanello. Tommy Solano, Saztech, Paul Whitsett, Just Jedi, Clay Almighty, Tony Mario Golden II, Unicorn Flakes, David Bland, Tom Ferrara, Lucas Johnson, Makatsi, Crash the Hedgehog 91, Star Wars Ramblings Mr. Andy, Overlorded Sith, Jordan Smith, The Joker, Carter Lovejoy, Levi Gutierrez. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel this evening. I appreciate the hell out of it. So, yep, stream tomorrow. And then some videos Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hopefully. We'll see. It's going to be a busy few days. But, all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And if I don't see you tomorrow night for a stream, I'll see you when I see you. Cool? Cool. Let's end this with a fun song. Ready? All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.